Dark Age Rax rushes are not dead. At least that's what Crackety would have you believe. Let's see if his Vodafone internet can hold up long enough for him to prove this fact right. Welcome back to some pubcast, folks. We've got Crackety going up against Kiryardi on the ladder. Map's going to be gorgeous. Going 2 XP for the early game. And the Spearmen are trying to be a nuisance because this is a classic, isn't it? Byzantines, the most vulnerable civ in the game to Dark Age rushes. Detail that Crackety's trying to take advantage of, and a civ that just got nerfed. Like, Japan was definitely one of the civs most impacted by the Dark Age shenanigans nerfs. You can no longer deer shove, so it's not advantageous play anymore. We are in a matchup where both civs typically do not think about deer. For pro scouts, anyway. Right? Don't really see Japan do it often, and you definitely don't see Byzantines do it. Byzantines are fighting hard for this, man. Like, the gold, oh my god, he didn't get enough. Oh, this is sick. Crackety, he actually found the timing to be a nuisance, so he forces a commitment of wood to defend the gold. Guys, this is really bad news, because when you're a Byzantine player, can you guess what you want to build an outpost on? Yeah, it would be the thing with the cistern already. So this is actually a really rough position for old man Kilyadi to find himself in. You have to keep in mind, like, it's, what, 7 p.m.? So for, like, a man of Kilyadi's age, that's like 4 a.m. He wasn't expecting this, wasn't awake at the wheel. He's going Hippodrome now. I'm trying to remember, did I miss something in my patch notes about Hippodrome changes? I don't think so. Byzantines weren't really changed there. And we've got an outpost rush now, so... Oh, no. What the hell is this about? I mean, I guess you can't really Grand Winery because your opponent will block both, so he's just respecting it. But this does feel like sadness doing Hippodrome in a build against Spearmen. Oh, blimey. But yeah, new season just started, guys. This is season 11, which is why you're not going to see this spear spam to now go back and shove deer in at all. Like, this was always meant to be an outpost rush. Kura Storehouse is coming on the other side. We can stick the 2x speed just so we can catch up a bit. What a weird and wonderful game. And he is going to be open the Horseman. So I guess, like, for Kilyadi, he's going to try to raid his opponent on the other side. Because he's gathering berries. By the time you arrive, I think the berries are already going to be gone. Expilatores buff. That's true. It was, they removed its 20 of its cost, was it? I think it used to be, was it 50 wood, 50 gold? Oh, sorry, no. So you get 30 gold instead of 20. That was a change. That could be interesting, but, like, against Japan, are you going to have a target, is my thought here. I guess Crackety did make his placement a bit questionable here with the Kura Storehouse out to the side because he wanted more farms. But, like I said, there's already Spearmen. So, in theory, this should be quite difficult, but that's why we're seeing Kilyadi now pivot into archers. I think he's just going to ignore the gold and play around the flank. My only concern here is, like, technically, could Crackety not have just played Yumi, Horseman, Mirror? Instead, though, it looks like he's trying to age up. Which is greedy, by the way, because he never built an outpost on the gold. Oh, my. Yeah, a little bit ambitious coming out of him. And, sorry, I just realized that these are now different sizings, aren't they? Let me increase Kilyadi's size. Apparently, I have that effect on him. That's what he told me, anyway. I think Kilyadi's bigger now. Oh, we rock it. This actually looks kind of scuffed. There we go. Yeah, Expilatores actually being viable is an interesting thought. For those that haven't seen that tech before, you get +2 against worker type units. You get 30 gold now per kill. It used to be 20, so it's a 50% buff. The economical impact of it. And it's a tech that, like, used to be more expensive, got nerfed, like, buffed rather down on its costs. Just still kind of got ignored. And there we go. That's what I was waiting for. Guys, Gigabyte, click that link now. Whether you're on YouTube or Twitch. Reminder, we are in the midst of talking about them maybe come back in the future. If we want to see more of these type of sponsors so that they can make more and more show matches, etc. possible, clicking those links does a phenomenal deal to help. Convinces them to come back. Convinces them that Age of Empires people are worthy of these glorious GPU and motherboard components. And I don't know if we're worthy of this glorious Byzantine Expilatores meta. Kind of cool to think about, though, right? Like, this big switch, because I, for one, am for it. At first, it was really cool to see these Byzantine system rush builds coming in. But it became a little bit linear. I was getting a little bit bored. And I don't know, like, ones in chat if you're feeling the same. Like, every game was turning into 5 Cistern and then, like, Groves. With some exceptions against Fast Castle. Did he just stab a spearman to death that was garrisoned? I think he did. Kiliadi's now going to return home. He's actually forced Krakeny to commit a lot into feudal, by the way. Remember, Krakeny at one stage had, was it 800, 900 food in reserve? All of it went back into units, and he just gets bodied on the gold. So all of a sudden, what Krakeny now finds is that Kiliadi's put in a position where you have to kind of attack him to guarantee he doesn't just age up. What is this spig? Would Bugatia not be better? I'm kind of calling him out on it now because Krakeny, when we cast together the other week, this guy was obsessed with Bugatia. He's like, yes, but what if they done Ona Bugatia? Yes, what if they done Ona Bugatia? Wouldn't Ona Bugatia be great here? Oh man, I think they should do Ona Bugatia. So I'm just going to sit here and go, man, wouldn't Ona Bugatia be great right now? Technically, his defense, which is a fair point now, might be that Keshik's arriving, but pre-Keshik's, like, Spearman versus just going Bugatia. Bugatia should perform better against the archers as the thought process, while being slightly less tanky, right? Finally, we do have Expilatores coming through. Makes sense as well at this stage, because Krakeny's finally playing out of his base a bit, onto berries, potentially onto deer. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he has to go for that, or you have to go for the other side of the map with the berries. Now, technically, massing horsemen here can actually favor Japan quite a lot. Because with the Triumph, you temporarily get a huge +4 damage. But with Japan, on horsemen, you're going to get a reliable 1.5 damage with the Uma Bannerman. So as long as you avoid that burst point for Byzantines, you're actually stronger in the engagements. Now, easier said than done, but definitely something you can lean around. Alright, what do you think, guys? Ones, if you think Krakeny is going to take this game. Twos, if you think Kiliadi is. I'm not going to lie. I'd be shocked if I saw a lot of ones. Now, this isn't to flame Krakeny. It's more his internet. I don't trust his Vodafone internet. Oh, God. The poor guy. I have to chuckle a bit because he's like building his own house, which sounds really fancy and prestigious and premium. And then he's just got crappy internet. It's like if you were, dude, it's like if you were a big gamer and you bought a mansion and then you play on like an Intel Pentium dual processor PC with Windows 98. I mean, one thing that is a bit wonky for Kiliadi is obviously the farm transition is less valuable with this type of approach. And he's starting to do it. It's just the olive groves aren't as good at returning their investment as quickly as Grand Winery builds, right? But if you do get to like a very late game scenario, it's kind of shocking just how good the Triumph can be. Because the thing about late game, guys, is like late game is about pop efficiency. And +4 damage on each of your cavalry units in late game, like that's insane pop efficiency. Especially for things like horsemen. The other interesting part is like in the late game, so many units are dying so frequently that actually Hippodrome is almost just a persistent thing. It very rarely burns out. Yumi switch now. That's interesting. So he saw the Limitane, feels the need to react to it. I feel like this matchup is going to be decided more by the horsemen from both players, though. Like, horsemen to me is the key thing to watch here for who's going to come out ahead. There is also the tech detail. Like, technically, both of these civs have very good burst timings into technology. Because with the Japanese, it's the Yorishiro drop to increase the research speed and production speed. And with Byzantines, it's the absurdity of Dialecticus that allows you to research anything straight away, almost. And he is reaching that absurdity, right? He's about to Connect up. Level 4. So still one more to go. Yeah, a little bit surprised he didn't rush the systems. It seems like Kilyadi's focusing more on the efficiency per system than just the maximum level. Deer gathering on the front side as well. Crackety, he's found the resources. Castle up about to come in, and it is going to be the standard floating gate. You guys find it funny how, like, the Buddhist monk build didn't get buffed again, even though for about a week people thought it was going to be broken, and then no one built it? I remember the talks about, like, oh, it's going to be busted, KP. You watch, like, oh, everyone's going to do it. It's like, oh, I mean, like, I understand the situational viability of this technology. But I think, guys, it's a few years too early. It's like when people tried to talk to you about solar power 10 years ago. Like, wow, that's really cool, but I don't know about that one, dog. That sounds kind of expensive. Peace. Golden Town now coming through. The funny thing actually is, like, Kilyadi's going to match the timing here. These are weird walls, right? Like, am I the only one looking at the map thinking this is weird walling for 15 minutes? We've got Kilyadi creating a funnel point on the left side. And then we've just got some Viper-type walling, although a little bit wider. How would I buff Temple of Inequality? I would give the Buddhist monks the ability to attack with their staff. You know, like maybe give them 2 armor, maybe an ability to mitigate 50% of the damage they take while debuffing 50%, and then they just like start beating people to death with like the bar. I reckon that would be a really good unit. Wait a second. Oh no, like with Buddhists, I think in general, what you need is there needs to be a change to the relic system where relics deposited in the back of your base are less valuable, because then Buddhist monks, was it Nahai, what is it called? Like basically the damage buff they give from a wall would be valuable because you want to play out onto the map. Currently, it just kind of sucks. The other way you could do it is that Buddhist monks can individually apply the damage buff in Imperial Plus. So you kind of make them a bit like a prelate effect. I kind of like that ladder just because it's probably easier to implement. But like long term, I've been a really big fan for a long time this idea that you should not get maximum gold or oil or whatever from placing a relic in the back of your base. It's a really lame interaction point for relics because it means you have this really cool bout over them and then it just like they're there. They're wherever they are. They rarely move. Talk about good moves. Hello. Nice dive in there. Crackety gets some kills with the spears. Spears that he wants to toss away because he's getting ready for a samurai dump. Just made the monks not all cast a debuff on the same unit would go a long way. If you make that change, instantly, Buddhist monks become OP. That's been my big warning about it. Is like, in theory, what you're saying makes sense, but if Buddhist monks all debuff different targets, they will be immediately broken. Flash coming in. Not much damage done. I think got 1 extra worker kill, but lost a lot of ponies. So, like, if you wanted to have it where Buddhist monks always target different units, you'd have to change it so that it's the debuff is cast, and as you cast it, the longer you cast it, it caps up to 50%, but it crawls up the number, and then they switch targets. That might make a bit more sense. Wallow's going to be a big fat L. Kilyadi now with the dive. Hello. I don't think that Crackety had enough time here. No, the Keshis are kind of giving him a hard time. He's got a few spearmen in there that might actually save his bacon. The veterancy is important. With the Triumph as well, these guys actually feel surprisingly tanky. Archers are going to dive by to deal with the Yumi. It does feel like the static defenses are going to keep Crackety alive here. Yeah, second wave is coming in, though. However, the second wave, not much cavalry here. Your opponent's going to have the Adachi tech. Crackety, surprisingly enough, rushed that upgrade on the Samurai, ahead of just getting more Samurai out. Kilyadi, a bit too eager to get some worker kills. Doesn't continue to trade out the Yumi. Spears and Keshiks are going to overwhelm the first of the Samurai. And the shield wall is very important here, guys. Like, he's actually a lot more efficient tanking per unit than when it was mainly archers. But at this stage, I think Kiliadi probably needs to slow down. He's just kind of sending units in one by one. Maybe he just feels like mathematically it's worth it. It's buying enough time because it is forcing a lot of idle on Crackly's economy. Basically, half of his workers are sitting there watching while, like, you know, activating the autopilot drones to shoot at people. That's how it works, guys. I don't know if you knew this, but, like, you know, when you hop into a TC as a villager, you're just activating aim assist. It's like having a Cronus controller in Call of Duty. He still doesn't have more farms, right? No, he's got them coming in. Okay. So this isn't too bad. I thought Kiliadi was just kind of throwing away the game because he had no food transition, but the groves are coming through. Japan themselves are mirroring this, though. So, like, so far, these two are kind of neck and neck. So the argument on whether, like, the Buddhist monk debuff is meant to work one way or another is, like, ill regardless, right? I think if it didn't work that way and it had been added to the game where all Buddhist monks target different individuals, it would have immediately got nerfed. That's the important thing. So, like, you know, you can talk about what's intended behavior, but, like, I think quite often what's intended doesn't mean what's best. Right? You see this all the time. Developers have ideas on what would be good or won't be feasible, like what would be balanced or what would be insane. Like, I've literally heard it from AoE4 devs where, like, whoa, this will be insane. And then they intro it and it's just trash. Right? And that's because, like, design is definitely an experimentation process in a lot of ways. You can be a master of the art and still get it wrong. Right now, Kiliadi, a master of the aggro. These cataphracts getting a good number of kills, actually. Oh my, finally going to start shutting them down. But, I mean, a free worker lead with the system buff as well is a damn good position to find yourself in here. Yeah, and he's not done yet, right? He's spreading out with additionals. Skudum's around the back as well. It's giving the breathing room he needs, and it's also allowing this farm transition that's now about, what, 20 deep? Yeah, 20 groves exactly. So what's Crackly's next burst point? Because, like, building spears doesn't sound like the signs of a winning soldier right now. He had this samurai idea in mind. I'm just not sure if it's desirable. I kind of like that he's just going back to standard mounted samurai. Mounted samurai 1-to-1 versus cataphracts performs surprisingly well. You will still lose to one kata, but it's a lot tighter than you'd expect due to the deflective armor. Plus the extra melee text, and then obviously Uma Bannerman down the line. What you're probably looking for here now, if you're Kiliadi, is going to be the teardrop shields. Teardrop shields is a pretty cool tech. The +1/+1 goes a long way against things like Yumi and Spears. And on top of that, it gives you a lot more flex towards other unit types, right? With the Varangian, the change they get there with attack speed. And let's also not forget the impact it has on Limitane with that faster movement. Yeah, it's just a nice tech to overall be prepped into because it allows you to then hop, skip, and jump into different unit types. And oh my god, I've clearly been talking to too many Scandinavians, and I've been saying the name Kiliadi too much because I just said yump. God damn. Alright, we're going to speed up a bit because this is a bit of a lull. Both are still just going through that, like, macro stage. But Kiliadi's just trying to keep up the raids. He's just trying to be respectful of how valuable, but how easily lost these cataphracts can be. And what a timing to come around on the berries. Villagers in a bit of a pickle. He splits it up. He goes hunting both sides of the tree line. So great read there by Kiliadi. Looks to maximize the damage he can do here while minimizing the risk. And we'll cut them down. Good trample through to finish off there. Stops the outpost going up. He's still chasing the workers. He goes for the quick wall. With the burn. The burn's going to come in. Okay, he gets it just in time. Yeah, one of these guys... wait. He done it again. Cat around each side. I really like the way that Kiliadi's not getting too tunnel visioned with what he's doing here. Where he's accepting that 2 or 3 worker kills is better than missing out on all, right? Like, yeah, you could get 10 worker kills, but if you guess wrong, you get nothing. Trample. Ooh, yeah, backs away in time. Where's the Onimusha? They would go crazy. Onimusha, like, I was wondering if he'd go towards it, but I think maybe the concern with Onimusha is he saw his opponent had archers before. Crossbows too. Also, like, I haven't seen Kata versus Onimusha often. I feel like Ona should be fine as long as you micro it, but Trample can maybe catch you off guard. Like, it definitely feels like someone that'd be good with Mass Spear here. But I think maybe the thought is, like, Mounted Samurai individually can raid better, and we did mention already, like, Mounted Samurai to Katas, like, 1-to-1 do reasonably well, surprisingly well when you consider the difference in cost. Two TC now. Well, Kiliani... Wait, what happened here? Oh my god, the Mounted Samurai. What? We were so distracted by the Cataphract that they just done ridiculous damage. How is he 12 ahead after that? Oh my god. Like, brother. What just happened? Am I the only one looking at this like, wait, this looked like it was cruise mode for Kiliani. But now you see why the Mounted Samurai over the Onimusha, right? Like, Onimusha would probably be shut down much easier there, less raid efficient against exposed economy. Builds himself a 12 villager lead. He still has a Yorishiro drop, so his TC skilling's not bad here. Though it does look like Kiliani, despite the hit to the stomach, is going to find his way into the Imperial Age first. So Palatine School is going to be coming into the north side. Interesting to see Palatine. Very rare, actually. Like, I think most of the time nowadays, like, it'd be fair to say, like, 90% of the time, foreign engineering company is the go-to. I do think this kind of makes sense with your wing choice. Like, you went for the Eastern contract. Keshi's get a nice little buff with, like, Step Lancer. Gulams get the boot camp, but it's not crazy. Right? Compared to, like, foreign engineering company where Longbows get volley or you get the camel armor, I do think the Eastern contract is the most underwhelming for foreign engineering. And after all, he is going for, like, mass Cataphract with Hippodrome, right? So this is just a complete max out on possible damage. Has he used it so far? No, he's just been sitting on it. He's maxed out on tickets. Which is interesting, because when he dove those workers, that would have given him the movement speed to probably snipe down quite a few. But it's trigger discipline logic, right? Is like, if you use the Triumph and it doesn't do enough damage, your opponent gets a free fight. Because it takes 30 seconds to generate 1 second of buff. It's horrible. We do have the rocket launchers coming in. Shogun's on the way. Also Imperial. And this game slowed down a lot, despite the damage done on eco on each side. Because always remember, these systems mean that, like, even though Crackety got a good hit there, he didn't really move ahead. He just put himself back in balance between economies. More Keshiks on the way. Cataphract's getting upgraded. I feel like I very rarely see this elite. So I have to double check. Sometimes like, wait a second. That's the Cataphract one. Is he going full Gigafract? He really is. As a pop efficient unit, there's not many that rival Cataphracts. Very expensive though. It's going to be dive in. We'll be able to idle them out. Now, really important thing here, by the way, that technically makes Cataphract spam broken with Palatine School. You guys might have forgotten what this landmark does. We rarely see it. Palatine School gives you a 30% chance to spawn a unit for free, one of the unique ones. So when you build a Limitane, you might get one for free, 30% chance. Kira Siphon, same. Cataphract, same. Varangian, same. This landmark is technically broken. And I'm going to explain why. People like KP, you say broken too much. No, hear me out. The thing that makes this, like, potentially ridiculous, and this is important, the potential part, is that it's RNG. What that means is that you could produce 10 Cataphracts upon arrival in Imperial Age, and if the 30% procs on every single one of those Cataphracts, which it theoretically could, you would pay off your Imperial Age. Because Cataphracts cost 330 resources each. So if you get 10, that's 3,300 resources saved. Just process that for a sec. Now, we did get another raid, but now, apparently, shoes on the other foot. He's getting ready to dive in. I mean, it's a healthy amount of heavy cav, but remember, Krakeny has a solid defense here with the spearman. Nagayari is coming through. Still no Onimusha. No, not a single soul. And he did go Tanagashi with Gunsmith, so he has the potential to get premium units himself, such as hand cannoneers. Oh, nice snipe there. Go straight after Yoroshiros. I mean, in some ways, you kind of help him there. Like, he actually might want to put them in things like forges, because at this stage, you can afford lots of production buildings. It's going to be a burn on to the west side. Remember, Japan is a very gold-heavy civ. Well, when you do anything but spam spears like this. He's going to rush down both outposts before the emplacements can come in. Army is approaching, though. Has to stand his ground. The Triumph does get activated. The trample through! Gets on top of the Yumi. Cuts them down, just trying to enable his backline to defend him. Fight looks really good right now for Kilyadi. And his boys are just so tanky, man. Like, the healing's not that important anymore in a 500 HP unit. But the damage, the movement speed, it just allows you to munch down on the target. Kilyadi able to come out ahead with 16 cataphracts still alive. Spearman count has been shrunk down from 50 to 15. And is still falling. Nah, he's just rushing in. The movement speed is blasting them through. Oh my god, there's just nothing left of the Imperial Japanese army. Yeah, the tricky thing is timings here, right? Like, this is someone that we talked about Byzantines being great at. With the Dialecticus, they can rush into their text. He was able to get biology like that. Meanwhile, look at these spearmen. Do you notice something missing? There's no plus to their health. They don't have Oda tactics. So even though he had Nagayari for the bonus damage, he's missing an extra 20% damage buff. Palatine should really give you a free unit every third unit. This is the thing I've been begging for. Like, regardless of whether we're seeing it or not, my worry is when we see Palatine back in competitive, there might be a game on the line that is, like, worth an extra $10,000 as AoE 4 scales. Do you really like the idea of that game being decided by RNG, potentially? I'm not okay with that. Like, I'm a guy who likes RNG within reason, like calculated RNG and counterst RNG. Like, I talk about Dota 2 and a hero that can crit you for 500% damage, but you can disarm them. There's a strategy against it. Like, if your opponent just RNG flips Palatine School, like, there's not an easy counter in a game like AoE 4. And oh my god, he's got tower 11s. This is the weird thing about the Eastern Contract. It is usually very weird in the early game. It's quite trash in the mid game. But if you get into the late game and you have more oil than America, the Tower Elephant strategy is pretty gross. Especially considering you've got mass cataphracts. Like, he is building horsemen, but it doesn't feel good to do this into mass cata. To make matters worse, the bombards have shown up. Interesting, he just doesn't have enough olive oil to go... oh wait, no, I forgot. He didn't go Foreign Legion Company. I was about to say, the grand element to your comp would be to go for the cannons, the raw cannons. He doesn't have them. If I like the bombards, you need them here to do the rocket launcher TC. It kind of feels like Krakony's at death's door right now. It's just difference in comp, right? Like, just look at the army value. These cutters are sick. Man, Kilyadi's an entertainer and a killer. Not often we get to see mass kata, but Hippodrome Cataphract has been popping off in this game, and he still has a big charge, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, 14. He needs a few more kills. How Spears count cat is less than other knights because lack of charge? True, actually. Yeah, because you mean you can't pin them and stun them. I mean, you can when they trample, though, right? That's the catch. That forces a brace. But that's situational. And the other thing is also there's a unit that just has more raw HP and it gets more armor as well. Like, it's ridiculously lofty. This is what I meant about the pop efficiency. Like, it's a 500 HP unit. You'd think you're playing against gilded units here. And that's the crazy thing, right? Like, this rivals some gilded units. But it only takes one pop. I remember when I tested Byzantines, my feedback is that cataphracts look broken. And it didn't play out that way, right? Because I was testing them hyper late. Like, when you hear someone say 20 Great Bombards is broken, the logic is, how do you get there? Well, same with Cataphracts. Oh, the logic is here. 38 Catas, and he charges straight into the Robotiquins. Draws the fire. He overextended, though. Yeah, he didn't dive right on top of them to get the kill. So Robotis are going to survive, but the he's going to get spread thin. Tower Elephants are standing their ground here. The Robotiquin is getting repaired. Crackety trying to hold on. The Bombard moving him for snipe, though. We'll try to get rid of the anti-melee. Does so, but the cost is high. Kiliardi, he just burned through his heavy cav. Oh my god, this dive was not it. The Bombard is sieging into the Shogunate, but he's down to just 6 Cataphracts. Crackety is alive. Now might have an opportunity to counterattack. The Bombard just can't clear the target quick enough here. What an insane defense. Crackety showing you exactly why Robotiquins are to be feared in the late game. Kiliardi became tunnel vision in them, but not just that, he also dove too far past them. I think he was expecting the charge to bait Crackety to back away with the Robotis. His choice to kind of mostly stand his ground pays off. Now gets him out of the base and forces Kiliardi entirely off this comp, guys, because the other thing about doing mass Katas, as sick as it is from a population efficiency standpoint, if you don't have a next wave stacked up, good luck finding the gold in a rush. He has 4,000 left over, and that's it. Unbelievable. Is he going to now lose this game? I mean, Crackety's still in a sore position here. His food income should recover because most of it was idled. And he is building, like, trash tier units, which are now being answered by counter trash. He's going to try to burn his way through. Mango emplacements are here. A keep drop now coming in. I mean, Crackety doesn't really need this gold, but if we want to see more Cataphracts from Byzantines, Kiliardi most definitely does need this. Yeah, especially considering the blocker on the east side. It's a great read by Crackety, understanding that he needs the gold for a remax. I don't know who wins this, man. This is really back and forth, actually. Like, my instincts say that, you know, the comp for the Byzantines feels a bit better here, but Kiliardi, like, he hasn't really solved the dive there. That Shogunate dive was a bit too ambitious. I thought he'd maybe slow roll it a bit, but that's just really not like Kiliardi's style, rather. Kiliardi's a very aggressive player. He doesn't like to stay. He doesn't like to chill. You know, you have to keep in mind, when you get to Kiliardi's age, death could strike at any moment. You know, old age is a killer. So you got to live life like every day is your last. So we have got raids into the base. The Limitano shut that down. There is more keeps on the... Dude, it's 1,000 gold. Calm down. It's not that valuable. And the Bombard is here, so that's going to slow him down. Reset comes in. Farms aren't going to be reached by the Japanese raid, but it is drawing a substantial amount of Kiliardi's army away. Yeah, we've got like 30 military coming to react to that, which means he can actually win this fight now. Jumps in. He's got the buff. He still doesn't... Wait, what? He still doesn't have Oda tactics. He's been relying on Spearman this whole time, and yet he still doesn't have the damage and health buff. And yet it doesn't matter. He rolls him over. And now dive for the gold. What? How is he doing so much work without Oda tactics is what I want to know. I mean, I guess it's just like... I don't want to say poor positioning, but maybe overreaching by Kiliardi and where he's positioning on this map. Nah, dude, I'm in the Crackety camp right now. As cool as the mass kata was, these spearmen are exceeding expectations. This is also like one weirdest civ to try and even build the elephants against now that I think about it. Because if the spearmen do reach you, which with the way that Kiliardi's been fighting they do, you remember they've got bonus range and bonus damage. By the way, can we agree this is actually the coolest looking spear in the game? When they get Nagiali, they look so sick. That's disgusting. Villagers. I don't know where they were hoping to go. Looks like they were maybe... Yeah, he's trying to go keep drops and then get some more keeps up. The problem here is, like, with no gold, and this is why Palestine, I think, fell off, by the way. I know hyped up to be broken, like, RNG-wise it could be. But on your average experience in the game, the problem is, if you look at all those things listed that you can get a 30% chance to spawn, are you guys noticing a common theme? 75% of the options cost gold. And he burnt through it. Varangian, Kira Siphons, Cataphracts, gold. And quite gold heavy, actually, for what they are. And that's the problem now. Like, you've just kind of got a deadweight landmark because the only thing you can spam is Limitane. Now, Limitane can be good with the right contract type, but this is where Eastern kind of reaches its peak, right? Like, you know, he didn't get Grand Winery. He didn't get a Kajillion elephants out. He's struggling to get that count up. Meanwhile, you're stuck with Limitane against Mass Yumi Spears. And yes, I think it's about a 23% discount. But like, that's the whole idea. If you do it 200 times, it comes out on average 30%. But as I was highlighting, like, if you do it 10 times, it could come out 100%. Welcome to chance. Flash coming in, Yumi. Are overkilling, so yeah, I like that staggered formation. Crackly just needs to optimize, attack different targets. The Bombards could be the solution to the Tower Elephants. They go off the Siege instead. And now remember, like, cannons, they do get bonus damage against elephants specifically. But currently, he's firing into the Limitane. Can you hold his Kilyadi, though? Second wave needs to get here ASAP. It is coming in. Instead, it's going to be a retreat. So he packs up. He does realize the mistake there. So moves the Bombards back, parks the Yumi to cover the escape. I just think Crackety's just got the pump, though. We've got a lot of horsemen coming, but into spears. And the Yumi is still doing a great job. Guys, the Yumi are broken, by the way, right now. Oh my god, KP, you say broken something? No, seriously. Like, they're literally broken. This Yumi Bannerman, plus a Yumi Bannerman, gives you 30% increased damage. You can see it. Like, look at this. If I find one over here. Can I get them out of range? Yeah, look, +9, +7. +9, and if we look for one going out of range of the banner, +7. You see that? So if you have a banner on the ground and a bannerman alive, there's a bug right now with infantry type Japanese bannerman where they double buff. Doesn't work with Uma bannerman, but works with Katana and works with Yumi. Which means, like, if you just do the maths on it and your brain quickly, you would have realized that even if the Byzantines maxed out their archers, the Yumi attack harder. It's kind of wild. And yes, the Howders are a default thing. So, fun fact is, like, every single mercenary contract, your Imperial Merc doesn't get upgraded by Foreign Engineering Company. I believe that's true for all of them still. So, Streltsy don't get a change. Tower Elephants just have Howders already. And then, what was the other one? Oh, Grenadiers. I think they always get hard case bombs. I have to double check that one though. Actually, no, I think they don't because they mimic China. Hippodrome activation here. Second wave is coming through. Hold on a second, Kilyadi. It's been a hot moment since he had a good fight, but this might actually be it. He's pushing in. The issue is going to be the next wave, right? Like, he's not actually holding reserves of resources. Whereas Crackety has an absurd amount in the bank, and he also has triple Sacred Sight on lock. Not a reliable win condition currently, because he didn't have keep drops. Triumph is still running. He's going to dive in, looking for the bombard kill. Second wave of Spearman comes through, though. That should slow things down a bit, but the problem right now is Crackety didn't have enough spear bump coming out. Is that win legit with a bug? I mean, it's in the game, XD. It's very hard to avoid. Like, the only reason you call out it as an exploit from an opponent is if they are intentionally deleting the unit. Otherwise, it's just part of the game. Like, what are you going to say? Japan can't build Bannerman? That's a dented solution, right? That just makes Japanese trash. I think these elephants are about to look like trash, though. Just need to break through, but maybe not. The Varangian was actually very crafty. And unexpected, I think, for Crackety because the lack of gold we mentioned before. Okay. Dude, I respect it. Because, like, right now, technically, Varangian counts everything that Japan's doing. We do have a switch up, potentially, on the horizon, though, right? Like, if you see Varangian, a Adachi Samurai is the perfect win condition against it. You know, Desert Raiders with the company are better than Iabid's Desert Raider because they get the move speed. Oh, you mean Camel Riders. Camel Riders are a different unit. Yeah, they're pretty solid because they also get the armor from Foreign Engineering Company. I think if Kiliardi can get up to like 7 Tower Elephants, then Crackety has a really big problem here. Because remember, the thing that you're doing here, when you activate the Triumph, I think they fixed it because at first it didn't do it. You get the +4 damage on crossbow ×2. It's surprisingly effective. Push continues, man. Kiliardi, like from a position that it looked like he was about to lose the game, has swung this about. He's starting to reach the rocket launcher town again. If he wants to break it, he's definitely going to need to consider bombards. And finally, after 45 minutes of gameplay, we are getting Oda tactics. After a reliance on Spearman for a long time, it's coming in. Not just that, it's going to be a samurai switch up. Hand cannoneers as well. Wait, did he stockpile it? He did. Look at the count, guys. He just spammed almost 20 hand cannoneers out. I think that was due to him stockpiling Tanagash from Gunsmith here. He also does have the Yumi Bannerman. By the way, that interaction we talked about should work with the Ashigaru, if I'm not mistaken. Which means that you can get +12 damage on this unit. Which is ridiculously broken. Yeah. Is it? Or is it a feature? How the crap? How many times does this game bounce back and forth now? 4, 5? Is this the Gorge effect? Okay, can I just be biased and say I want Ashigaru to now win because... Oh, what's that? Like, what else do I need to say but the voice line? The Psychos are coming in. Spearman line looking strong right now. And remember, like, the hand cannoneers are a perfect solution to the Varangian. Varangian that get more melee armor but have less health than standard men at arms. It's going to have to reset a bit here. Looks like the bombards are being backstabbed onto. Has got the Triumph activated. Will be able to snipe out one of the cannons, but he's lost the elephants for it. Won't be able to find more of the siege. No, the bombards are going to be safe against this. And Kiliardi, I think old man has reached his limits. Needs to reach the inhaler here because all of a sudden militarily outnumbered. And before, it was always quantity versus quality. Now, it's quantity quality versus quality-ish. Yeah, this is a problem. 34 hand cannoneers. This is late game comp. Especially with the Yumi buff. Keep an eye out for if one of these guys dies. Berserk gets activated. The hand cannoneers are not backing up right now. This is important. Starts to retreat them. And I think he's just melting him. Like the Varangian, the Berserk, remember, they lose a lot of armor here. Just allows them to get melt murdered so fast. There's just nothing left of him. The Finn is about to be finished here. And Crackety, what a crazy game for Gorge. More bounce backs than I think we see in most Gorge games. Like, I think Gorge is quite typical late game for 2, 3, maybe 4 passings of the baton. But this is like 5 or 6 times, man. But at this stage, I mean, with the food income as it is, I don't know if he can really keep up horseman production anymore. He also has any depth from his comp has been removed. Like, he's only got horsemen. There's no real merc support, right? Like, the elephants basically come out and die. And what is up, Connor? I see you with the super sticker. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate you. Remember, guys, subs, all those type of things definitely help. And also, something that's free to do is when you see sponsor links on all the videos, click them. Click-through is definitely one of the things they measure. It's not just about sales. Now assistance going down. Oy, oy, oy. Try to sell me. Try to pitch me on a Byzantine win from here. I guess he could... well, he can't Wall-Law. He doesn't have relics. There's nothing, yeah. I was about to say, Wall-Law might be the one thing if Crackety's not paying attention, but he'd have to have a relic for that. And farms are about to get idled as well. Kiliardi is reluctant, as anyone would be after 50 minutes of this. But the outcome looks all but assured now. We're at 44 hand cannoneers. And Triumph just can't match that. As much as he'd love to. What a cool game. Mass hand cannoneer is kind of rare for Japan these days, I feel like. And on top of that, Nagayari spears as the backbone of the wing condition is always a rare and welcome sight to see.